And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, with planet.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FT off. Bring in FT off. It's orange!
R45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If there's methane, would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? We don't need any more of these.
Hello everybody and welcome to a ship already in the air. SpaceX is really taking no time with this at all. We have Ship 37 in the air as they're getting ready to place this on the orbital launch mount. And this is going fast, so we just went live here and tried to be as fast as we can. My name is Adrian Bile, I'm your host for today's stream, and I'm joined once again today by Alex. Hello Alex.
Yeah, for those that may have been on Space Coast Live, watching the Falcon 9 abort, I guess. Hi again.
Yeah, we quite talk a bit today. So yeah, Alex, we will also have a D later in a bit, and also we have behind the scenes Carson producing today's stream. But yeah, I mean the ship's already on height for the OLM here, right, Alex?
Yeah, they are really just going for it, and like we saw the ship lifting a little bit, and we were like, "What?" And we started just getting ready for the stream and everything. Oh dear, yeah, and now look at that, it's almost at the height. We'll see how far up it goes, because we're not used to the ship going just to the OLM height. It's usually all the way up to the booster height.
Yeah, it will stop soon. Like this is almost there. Alex, I would say this is my kind of like the most interesting part of this campaign, right? Because this is really the thing that is different, right? Like this is weird. This is a thing they usually don't do. So, I mean, how careful do you think they are right now? Like how nervous is somebody at SpaceX right now?
Well, right now it's the easy part, right? Lifting it up, it's okay. Maybe even going down a little bit, that's probably okay. The problem will be the last few meters or centimeters, getting down into that sort of MacGyver static fire stand, if you will. It's just a ship transport stand, but they made dozens of different modifications to be able to adapt it and put it on the OLM for static fire. So we'll see what they do there as they put it back down, but yeah.
And there's a question I directly want to address, Alex, because I think it's a great intro for something here. Centauri is wondering, what if they static fire tomorrow or even crazier tonight?
Well, that would be amazing, but probably not realistic, given that the closures that we've seen for testing at Starbase right now point to testing on Wednesday at the earliest. So, every single time they do some kind of big test at the pad, loading propellants or cryo testing and things like that, they always close the road, they always close the beach, and therefore, right now the next road closure and beach closure is not until Wednesday. The window for that will be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central. So that is sort of the earliest that we could see a test on the mount. Now, I wouldn't be surprised though, because I said, loading propellants and cryo testing and whatnot, but they can still do things like ambient testing, where they just load gas into the tanks instead of loading the cryogenics, and they do like a small pressure test of the tanks, making sure that everything is okay, everything is hooked up properly. That maybe maybe something that they could do maybe tonight if they hook up everything on time for that, or maybe tomorrow morning, afternoon, I don't know, sometime tomorrow, essentially, right? But yeah, the earliest in terms of, a proper static fire wouldn't be until they actually go and close the road and all that. But wait, this is going actually far higher than I thought it would go.
Yeah. I thought they would just rotate over like way earlier, but they seem to they want to have clearance above the pad here and then really, really, really have it stable. Interesting. I see a ton of questions. We'll do our best here to address them. Of course, if you have any more questions about this, make sure to tag at NASASpaceflight in chat, and we will get them in our handy tool here and answer as much as we can. Honestly, there's already so many. I'm not sure how many we will get to do here, but we'll do our best to answer as much as we can. Before that, I want to quickly thank Telstar86 for the super chat here, asking, will there be a Frankenstein stand patch for this? Not that, but there are some great patch. There's a great patch on the way to you for this flight. I can spoiler you that. And Alex, it's already rotating?
Yeah, it is rotating. I just saw the ship rotating it.
Oh.
Well, I guess that's how far up it's gonna go. But yeah,
is there a shift change coming? Do they want to go like to? This is crazy. They're really fast with this.
As I said, this is sort of like the easier part because there's nothing to align. Really, it's just going up and then translating and whatnot. It is then when it goes down when they have to align it to the stand. To that, MacGyver ship's transport stand.
It looks so hilariously cursed. It's like you see a ship lifting and there's just no booster. It looks just so wrong.
It's almost like those memes of like, they're lifting the ship and they forgot the booster, right? And then somebody like photoshops out the booster. This is not Photoshop. This is real. There's no booster there. They're lifting the ship without a booster there. It's weird, but it's happening.
Oh, this is a really good one because it gives us a bit about talking about process here. James Atkinson wondering, do you think they will manually need to connect the lines to the ship once it is placed?
Yeah, so one of the things that obviously happens with this one, unlike when they actually stag it on a booster, when they stag it on a booster, they have that very nice arm that you see there on the top left near the clock. And that, can be sort of manually, not manually, remotely attached to the ship. They still do some manual things though, removing some of the covers and things like that, because you don't want to have your valves, for example, being exposed to debris or whatever. But right now, they have the plate, the interface that they use for that. They have it connected to sort of the other side. You can see there on that QD arm, on the quick disconnect arm, they have this umbilical coming out, and there's like a star-shaped sort of adapter there at the end, right? That is what you will call, if you were dealing with wires and whatnot, or cables or whatever, a USB port, right, for the ship. So you have one end of the port on the ship, then you have one other end on the umbilical side. So right now, they have taken that portion and installed it on the ship. And so what they're going to be doing, we think, is once the ship is set down, they're going to be bringing the flex hoses. Thank you for that view. There you can see that quick disconnect port, essentially, as it's technically called. And you can see there's like tubes sticking out of it. Those are going to be connected to the flex hoses, the flexible sort of hoses, as it's called. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to call them. They're flexible hoses that they can just attach to those pipes and attach them to the quick disconnect, and therefore it's technically, it's called quick disconnect, but it is not meant to disconnect quick or anything like that. But it is the place where you have the quick disconnect port on the ship, so we can still call it like that. But yeah.
And I see some people confused here. What's going on and why do we call it curse and everything? Let me quickly recap for you what happened. So all of you, I think, are aware that ship 36 exploded, right? which not only, of course, made Ship 36 no longer usable, but also severely damaged their ability to test at mass seas, which means they cannot test static fires there for the foreseeable future. And also, there's a thing about, like, do you want to repair that or you want to get it ready for block free? But that's another discussion. So, what they had to do is, they took an old ship transport stand, which is inside the OLM right now. They modified that. They basically adjusted it a bit to be an adapter. And they placed this adapter inside of the orbital launch mount. You can barely see it. Like, it's a bit, like, peeking above. And that allows the orbital launch mount to not only host boosters right now, but also be able to, right now in this configuration, host ships. So that is like a reconfiguration of the setup. That is what I have done, and it's a bit makeshift, and that's why we are calling it a bit cursed, because it's not really the structure you would have expected from the OLM and not really what it's initially built. But props to SpaceX for making this work in like a month to go from an explosion to being able to put this on the OLM, right, Alex? Like, I mean, that was pace.
Yeah, it was June 18th, June 19th, depending on where you were on the planet. It was 19 for me. So it's been a little bit over a month, right? A month and 10 days, essentially. So yeah, that was quite interesting, the timeline for this.
Absolutely. And there's
look at that.
thank you for that, Carson. These are this is the adapter we are talking about. That was the modified adapter that they have placed inside of the OLM. And to answer all of the questions that we are getting, will the F flaps have enough clearance? Alex, that's one of the main purposes, right?
Well, also to be able to connect to the OLM, but yeah, the ship stand, that adapter sticks out a little bit, just a bit, but enough for the F flaps to not hit the launch ring, the launch mount. Yeah, there you can see, for example, at the time they had a scaffolding. Right now there's no scaffolding, right? And so they have free clearance there, or at least around the ring. There's still a little bit of scaffolding on the quick disconnect there on that port, but other than that, it's pretty much clear for the aft flaps to connect. But this view, you can see exactly how it sticks out a little bit off the mount, and here you can see it even better. Thank you for that change of view.
It looks like it's close to going down here. And I think at this point we are joined by a third voice here. D, do you have you on comms?
I sure hope so. How do you hear me?
5x5.
Wonderful.
Glad to have you here, as they are getting ready to put this thing on. D, this looks cursed, right? Like, is it just us, or does this look weird?
Oh, it totally looks weird. And one of the other considerations is, like, the arms rotating. It feels like this is very low. So even though it looked like they went higher than they necessarily needed to be, is that like closer to where they would be in the booster position, since the booster is so much taller?
Oh, they will have hit the booster by this point if there was a booster there.
Yeah, but like if the arms were lifting a booster, they would be rotating from a higher height, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be. They're about of the height of like a bit above the QD, the ship QD, is where they basically angle boosters.
I'm seeing Dan is in the field right now, and he's posting some like shots in a back channel for us to see. And I'm seeing like the latest one actually shows like the RVAC rings. So for testing, and I think you can maybe see them here even in this shot. It's like right at the bottom there of the ship. But yeah, there's like stiffener rings that need to be installed on the RVAC engines so that, you know, by testing them at sea level, they don't break the nozzles essentially. Because of multiple things that happen, flow separation and whatnot, which will take a long time to explain. But those, for example, is one of the modifications that they had to do to that transport stand that they turn into an adapter, because that's usually anchored to the static fire stand. But
That
What?
was the voice from Jack, a bit let's just say influenced by bad internet connection, but it's going down.
There we go.
You can see it. The gap is getting closer. This is exciting. I'm very excited for this. I'm wondering, like, in theory, maybe this is just me. In theory, this is just them placing it on a ship transport stand, right?
Yeah, by all means. The top interfaces, the clamps and everything have not changed as far as we know, or at least I'm not aware of them changing that. So, and that's also the same on the ship static fire stand. By the way, like, the ship static fire stand is just essentially like an overbuilt transport stand, if you will. So it's not surprised that they were able to somewhat modify this transport stand for that duty.
Yeah, I mean, this could go fairly fast, I think. We'll see. We'll see. Let me thank Bitefort here. Bitefort with a super chat saying, no more nighttime static fires, rotating going on. Yeah. Let's see when... So right now we have windows, I think, from 7 to 7 on Wednesday and Thursday. So that is our window here. And there's a question here, D, in the queue from Caden Gaming, wondering, will they do a cryo test or spin prime fire, or just go to static fires, or even single engine static fire? What do you think? What's the test flow you would expect from this?
I'm not sure here. I know we're looking forward to those static fires. That's the main thing. We've seen some testing, and we're continuing cryo-wise, but I'm not sure what the exact plan is here.
I feel like we all don't know. It's more like a speculational question, because I mean, this is new territory, right? Like, how safe is SpaceX playing this? Will they risk blowing up their launch pad? There's quite a few unknowns in here, and in general, I mean, you have to build up the confidence to test this, right? Because there's the current D-Access forecast, and you can see that Boca Chica Beach is supposed to be closed on Wednesday and Thursday, which are the testing days. So, nice. Let's see. Alex, I have a question here from Matrix. Is a transport stand built to hold down the thrust of a ship, or did they have to reinforce it?
Well, the transport stand itself, no, but there are things that sort of counter that. So, in the first place, you've got the ship itself being loaded with essentially a full load of liquid oxygen. So that does a lot of work to weigh it down, right? We always talk about this, that, if it's a 6-engine static fire test, they always load it fully, the liquid oxygen tank, and then the methane tank is only loaded a little bit, right? We always sort of mentioned this when they tested at Massey's, or even beforehand when they did this at the suborbital pads. They also used to do a very similar procedure. But apart from that, as I was saying before, the clamps on the ship transport stand are the same in theory as the ones on the ship static fire stand, which means they should be able, like, just by default, even though they are not meant for that, because it is the same design, it should be able to. I will be more worried about the fact of the adapter actually flying off along with the ship. So the adapter, we think, based on the images and everything, and all of the stuff that we've seen, it is welded to the arms on the launch mount. So if those welds fail for whatever reason, then that's a bad day for all of this. It's not just the ship, but also the transport stand flies off along with it.
It's like we've got a crane moving in here.
Ooh.
Yeah, the crane is coming in as the ship closes in. What is going on here?
What you doing, crane?
Just looking.
Is that crane closed, though?
Oh, no. Thank you.
Got me.
There you go. Perspective.
That crane is about 500 meters away on the other side of the launch site. Thank you for
Don't
that.
I
think
was gonna
they're gonna be
say-
able to reach it from there.
Thank you for that perspective to save all of our like that was commentator reputation safe before we talk about this for 5 minutes. So
But that tells you how big the distances are, and sometimes we have to zoom in on things happening at Starbase. Then you see something happening behind it, and you think, "Oh, it's close." No, it sometimes is very far away.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Hi, Jack.
That happened to me like 3 days ago at Massey's. I thought a crane was lifting something off the static fire stand. And so I hauled butt over there and I set up my camera. And then I realized the crane was just perspective. It was just as I was driving up to Massey's, it looked like the crane was, it wasn't. It happens all the time.
There we go. Thanks for also saving our reputation, Jack. And with this, we are now. I think it's still moving like a very slowly, right? Like
Yeah, and you can just see one of the SpaceX drones in there, whether it's getting a shot, helping them get a better view, or something like that, off on the left side of the frame.
I always love how small these drones seem, but they're not small, right? Like these are not small observation drones.
No,
Yeah, they're
they
huge.
have very large, like industrial type drones. They have a whole mix of different drones, whether it's content views or even security and stuff. They have some with speakers and the like.
I know there are some people that really hate when people are putting the interstellar docking scene music behind things docking. So if you really want to annoy these people, this docking sequence of two objects can once again annoy people on X if you play the interstellar docking theme. I'm just saying that because I like chaos. This is a good one. D. If Ship 37 experience an anomaly or rut, will SpaceX cut their losses and move to Block 3?
All right. Well, we're deep in speculation at this point.
Yes.
I don't want to even begin to jinx what may or may not happen. But I mean, it seems like they're really trying to move fast, and does it really help them to throw away hardware? I mean, the question would be, how fast could they repair pad 1, pad A, whatever you want to call it? How fast could you have it repaired and ready for a launch again? And if you can have that done before you're flying on the second pad, then I think they'll keep going with the next available ship here. It doesn't... they've got lots to learn, and they want to get the flights going for data. That's why they've done these modifications here, so they can keep going despite what happened at Massey's. So I think, depending on specifics, it would just be what gets them flying again the soonest.
Absolutely. Alex, what do you think?
In terms of what happens if they
Yeah, if this static fire goes like the last one.
Well, I think at that point maybe they do go to Block 3 just because it will probably take a while to repair some of the stuff at Pad A. I don't think it will be the same way as Massey's, because Pad A that launch mount is built like a tank in terms of how many reinforcements it's got. It's have a lot of different things that protect it, which the Massey test stand did not have any of that. But maybe at that point they do indeed go to Block 3. I do not think though we're gonna see something like that, and maybe I'm just jinxing it right now saying that. But I think the Ship 36 explosion was a really rare occasion. Like the fact that in how many years? 6 years of development at Starbase, we've only seen 2 vehicles exploding on the pad. One being SM4 and the other one being Ship 36. Like actually exploding. No, a little bit of a fire here and there, like Booster 7. No, an actual, boom, essentially. Only SM4 and Ship 36. The fact that it only happened twice in 6 years, when, let's be honest, it's a bit of a cowboy rocketry right here, right? And so it seems to me that it was probably a one-off kind of thing. I don't think Ship 37 will even, like, it's a very remote possibility. Again, I may have just jinxed that, but so be it.
I just had a question that I think. Well, by the way, it's continuously going down. It's about, I think, 2 meters away from the ring. It's not that much anymore. There you can see it. Like it's constantly approaching it, and we'll hopefully also see these climbs. And there's 2 drones in the air, by the way. There's one on the right and one on the left. So they're really monitoring
more drones,
this.
more better.
Yep. I got a question that I think has to be from a designer of this booster quick disconnect, otherwise I cannot explain it. Which is a question, hypothetically, if Flight 10 would be the final flight on Pad A, could they just have left the structure on Pad A BQD on, remove the door, and just let the stuff get cooked? And I love the idea. And I also think it sounds like you designed on the BQD from that, because I think a lot of people at SpaceX that work on this BQD think exactly the same. And that booster quick disconnect has given them a lot of trouble, and you can see the major modification. Alex, what have they actually done with that? Like, what did they modify there on the left?
Oh, there will be so many things. I'm gonna try and condense it. So essentially, the existing lines that go to the booster quick disconnect, they opened up the back and sort of the side of that booster quick disconnect hood, and then they went in and sort of cut out the other the booster lines, and in their place they put these pipes to reroute the same stuff that they load into the booster, but now it's rerouted to up, essentially out and up through those I guess trusses that they also installed. That was another thing that they needed to put. There's like several pipes there, both for loading liquid oxygen, loading methane, getting out the gaseous methane, for example, as well, because the methane boils off. You cannot vent it, so you have to recapture it. So there's also a recapture line. There's also like pneumatic systems for opening and closing valves and things like that. Even outside of that, you may be able to see where it says, "Oh, dang it." I was gonna point out something live. Sorry. But thank you, Carson. So where it says orbital launch mount on the red ticker below, you see there's like a door on the launch mount. There's like some wire-looking things lines. Those are the engine chill lines. When they chill down the engines, they cool down the pumps and everything with liquid methane and liquid oxygen. Liquid oxygen and liquid methane then boil off, and you need a way to get this off the ship, essentially, because otherwise the Raptors just blow up or whatever, right? And so these are the engine chill lines for the gaseous oxygen. So they recapture the gaseous oxygen from those Raptors, and then they dump it back down through the same system that they use for the booster. Isn't that crazy? Like the way that they just reused a bunch of the hardware for the booster just for this. Thank you. There we go. And now you can see sort of the complete picture. The pipes on one side, and then the engine chill lines. Thank you for that, Carson, on the right with the lift and everything there as well. So lots of different things that they have to then take down as well for the flight. Isn't that amazing how this is all done for just this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the modification that SpaceX was able to do in a short period of amount of time, under a lot of crunch, and not really prepared, right? Like, this is not like something they have prepared for years now. This is something that came up and they had to solve, and I think it's quite impressive what they have done. Like, in terms of cadence. Would you have, if somebody told you like last month they would have been ready for static firing before the end of July? I mean, what would be your reaction?
I would not have believed it, honestly. Like, this is such a janky seeming solution in the kind of best way. Like, it's kind of incredible to just see, and I absolutely would not have expected this. I wouldn't expect them to be getting ready for a launch anywhere near this soon. I thought I was gonna have a break from Texas.
I don't think you will have.
No, me neither.
Let me thank some person here, Justin Wayne, with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Justin. Also saying, when will the BQD team have their own office space printer moment? Like, do they circle around it with baseball bats, all giving it like rounds? I'm up for that. I hope they tell us so we can stream it. Thank you so much for that very generous support. As always, I have to mention this. These kind of streams, all of these cameras, all of these people out there, these are our cameras. SpaceX is not covering this. So you all supporting this and you all giving us the chance to do all of this enables this. So thank you all for that support, and thank you, Justin, in this case in particular, for supporting our coverage. All of these cameras that you see there, we couldn't do it without the support. That's absolutely 100% the truth. I have a question, D, for you, because I know you have been in Texas a lot. Are fire ants a problem in South Texas? Just curious.
Of course, you bring that one up. Yes, fire ants can be a problem in South Texas. Less so on the sandy beaches and in the area of the launch site specifically, but in the Brownsville area, they are for sure a problem. And if you spend any amount of time there, you will probably become unfortunately acquainted.
There we go. That's your answer. And I'm not sure, Jack, do we have you right now? Because I have a question that might be suited for you.
Hi.
Hi. Pete is wondering, is it perspective issue or is B-37 coming in at a jaunty angle?
B-37?
It actually says B-37.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't know. I can't really tell. It looks normal to me from here on the ground. I'm across from the tank farm, so hard to say.
There we go. That's all the... I think the answer is most likely it's coming in at the right angle because SpaceX wouldn't put it on a jaunty angle. I also want to point out that, yes, this said B-37, but I guess that's technically correct because it's... Right? You only put boosters on orbital launch mounts. So, there you go. It's not B-37. Let me see here. I'm not sure if we have this picture from Jack yet ready, but I have an amazing picture from Jack that I want to tease already that we will see at some point, which is amazing, and also serial numbers of Raptors and all the details, and Alex will explain you a lot about it probably, and there it is. That's the picture I was talking about. Alex, what do we see here all?
The engines, that's the first thing that you can see there. But you can also see there also some of the serial numbers of the sea level Raptors, 526 and 566 there on engines. I think it is engine 1, 566, and engine 2, I think it is. I don't remember the bottom ones. So essentially, the engine 1 is like the one facing the tower, and then 2 and 3 are the other two. And then you've got 4, 5, and 6 are the vacuum engines. But yeah, the vacuum engines, you can see there that what I mentioned about the rings that keep the nozzle in place. Of course, those rings are going to be sort of anchored to the MacGyver transport stand. I don't know how to call it all of that, but you know what I mean, right? The mount and everything. But yeah, you can see there some 6 engines and ready to fire. You may also see there are some kind of protectors at the end of the vacuum nozzles. Those sort of, I don't know, pool noodles.
I know that, like, we are joking, but I know they used at some point pool noodles. I know that that was a very early time of vacuum raptors at Boca, but there was a time when we spotted like literally pool noodles they were cutting off to
Yeah,
protect
maybe.
raptor vacuums. So if it works, right? So it's
But yeah, all
probably
three
not
have
the-
them.
Yeah, they're like, because they are like very close to the outer border of the ship, like so they don't if they would move, that they wouldn't damage the raptors. And it's going down, right? Like it's almost down. Look at that. That's not that much anymore. They're really. This is the very exciting part now. So, how bad would it be to put this on an angle?
What do you mean at an angle?
Like if they not perfectly like even and straight, how bad would that be for the ship?
It's okay. It's fine. They have 6 of these clamps. Well, yeah, 6 clamps on the transport stand. It's even better than on a booster. On a booster, they have only 3 clamps and only 4 guidings. Because the clamps are very weird. They also have their own guiding shape, so to speak. And you can have the guiding shape thing without the actual hook that sort of clamps onto the ship. And so on the booster, they have 3 of those guiding things that also have the hook to clamp, but there's also a 4th that doesn't, and we think that it is because they used to have problems with aligning the ship on top of the booster, and that is no longer the case. Like, we have not seen them retrying stackings and whatnot, at least as often as we used to see it early on. But I think on the transport stand, it might actually be a little bit better than that for alignment purposes. And they can move the ship. Like, they have the stabilizer arms on the chopsticks. The pins themselves can wiggle a little bit as well on the arms. So yeah, they have some wiggle room. No pun intended, I guess.
Oh, it was still a pun. Sorry, D. I sparked questions about Texas wildlife.
Oh, that's all right.
Pete is wondering, are there any friendly animals living in Texas?
Well, I looked up some of the friendliest animals, and of course you've got the fire ants and rattlesnakes and the like on the list. But there are a wide variety of birds that are really cool. If you're into birding, it's actually a great area to see birds as they fly up to migrate. And there are also some wild cats, I believe, in the area, coyotes, and
Yeah, there's ocelots out here, which are extremely rare, but you can occasionally see ocelots if you're super diligent.
I think there are also some otters in that area. So there are some cool animals in addition to the Australia style dangerous animals, but
A lot of
not
spiders. A
a
lot of
lot of
spiders.
spiders. Yes, that is
Yeah,
a very real thing.
when I was there, I will not name who did it, but members of the crew very much pointed out to me every single spider they spotted. And also, there was a moment where it was fairly dark in the dunes where we were walking to a camera. And I was informed that all the little lights I'm seeing are the spider eyes that are reflecting the light. So,
Yeah, they have a cool
yeah.
retro reflective nature, so it's really easy to spot them in the grass. But I know we've got resident snakes and mice and spiders.
Wonderful. I am so glad to be here. Um, let's see here. It is going down quite literally here, centimeter for centimeter, but it is approaching the ring. And again, it will not go inside of the OLM. It will stop there at that ring you see above the OLM. That is the adapter they have installed for this ship to be installed on the OLM. And then hopefully we'll see a static fire as early as Wednesday on this pad.
Yep. And you can see exactly. And you can see that, there's like the top of the ring. You can see some of those clamps with a guiding structure, if you will. It clears the launch mount. the F flaps will not hit any of the hardware.
Yeah, they're actually quite close to setting this down. Like this is just like the final alignment work right now. They're making sure that basically all these pins connect, so they can really make sure that none of the pins get bent. Because that happened before, right? Like what was the full stack where they by accident damaged a clamp?
I think that was Flight 8, maybe.
That was you remember the one,
Or
right? Like
7.
where it was a bit angled and suddenly there was a clamp flying away.
Ooh, that was
Yeah.
earlier, I think. Was that even?
No, it was this year. I remember. It was
That's so
either 8 or
funny.
7. Maybe chat can help me. A lot of people saying 8. Yeah, I somewhat remember it's 8.
Wow, Flight 8 feels like forever ago.
I know. You know why I know? Because I remember Max took a picture of it. Of like, we actually had the close up of them looking at the broken. It was not like the pin itself, but the pins have like this sort of, I don't know how to call them, but more like bumpers, so to speak, right? To protect them from being bent and things like that. And they just knocked one of the bumpers out of the pin. And so I remember this shot that Max caught of that essentially happening. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, this is because they're rushing. I remember we had a feeling of like Flight 8 being too rushed after the issue on Flight 7. So that's why Flight 8 came to my mind.
I remember being on the road for that.
You did. You were on the road. I also remember that.
So earlier today, I said that we can only all do this because of auto shoe support, and some people took that personally. So I will thank ODST Moody with $10 super chat here saying, sometimes we feed the engineers a hefty meal and let them out of their cages so that they may sate their ravenous hunger for last second builds. And well, here we are. I would agree. Props to the engineers and builders. Like, they constructed this so incredibly fast. It's quite amazing. And we'll now see if it works. That's the next thing. Steve Kalevik gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Thank you so much for that. Captain Kirsch gifting another Red Team membership. And then we have Ninja Decimator with a $5 super chat saying, Are there squirrels near Starbase? Thank you for that. Always a pleasure to say that word. I'm so happy. And then we have Apocalypse Cow with a $100 super chat.
What?
Thank you so much. That's a lot of support. Thank you so much, Apocalypse Cow. Saying great coverage as usual for everything you do, plus crispy soundboard with freaking laser beam fund. I think it's in work. I think it's in work. Yeah, like, well, Crispy might update you at some point. If not, just continue to pressure producers. That's what my recommendation.
One of the sounds Crispy needs on his soundboard is the Price is Right, like failure sound, like the doo 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 doo. So when someone makes a bad joke, he can just play the failure sound. It'd be great.
I don't think that soundboard will be underused. I think is my general impression of it.
How long will it last before it gets muted?
Or like button fatigue.
5 minutes.
But both are possible. Yeah, Jay, I see your comments in the back channel. Yes, I just endorsed Press String Production. I just want to point out, and I'm just being informed that Carson has something for me. I want to see what Carson has for me. Oh,
There we go.
Oh, it was so glorious.
I remember this one as well. Was that you, Carson, who edited that? Or was it the socials team?
So funny.
It was Carson, yeah. Because I also somewhat remember that he was also on that stream.
Sorry, I'm just way too excited about this. It was hilarious. They aborted the stack after that, right?
I think so. I seem to remember them going up to the hot staging ring and just, yeah.
Yeah. Repairing it. It take quite some time for the final alignment here, but that is understandable, right, Alex? Like, this is a very delicate process.
Yeah, now it's the hardest part. As I said, lifting it up, translating, that's easy. I can do that. With any ship, any booster or whatever. The problem is now having to align it to the transport stand with all of the pins and whatnot. I still think it's easier because they have that advantage of like they have more pins to be able to align it in place. And I think it's going down now.
Yeah, I think I just saw that as well. Like, that looks like it's going down again.
But yeah, like that shape. If you can imagine like a pyramid, so to speak, right? You cut the pyramid in half, not from the top, but like from the side, and then you cut like the tip of the pyramid, right? That's sort of the shape of that pin. It's a weird shape, and it allows them to be able to go down because it's, I don't know, it's sort of like a belt in a seat belt on a plane, for example, or something like that. That if you try to force it in and you're not perfectly aligned, it still clicks in. Like it still goes into the thing and it clicks, right? Because it has the perfect shape for the ship end to then click into place. So you lower it, and the more of these pins that you have, the more they help you align it in place, and it sort of clicks.
Yeah, it's once it's aligned, it's like it will help you. Of course, you can see these clamps there, like these small little clamps that they're definitely lowering it right now. Like they're committing here now for the final touchdown very, very soon. So yeah, looking good so far. So I think D, you can already start packing.
Oh my. All right. I need to get an oil change and stuff before I start to get back there.
I mean, on a serious note, a flight in 2 to 3 weeks doesn't seem super unreasonable at this point. Depending on, of course, how smooth the static fire campaign goes. But, like, a flight mid-August? Potential.
I totally believe that they could make that happen. If this static fire goes well, I think that joke about packing is not really that much of a joke anymore.
Yeah. So, that's, it's a thing. Like, this will become very, very soon reality about us joking here a bit. And they are very, very close here to the touchdown on this makeshift MacGyver adapter that they just made up in about a month. There we go.
Yeah,
Is that post new?
it's from a few hours ago.
There we go. I mean, I agree. I don't think that's Elon time for once.
I will ask back to him like, okay, next month. When in next month? It's got 31 days, Elon.
Like, which can you specify?
Yeah, can you exactly? Can you nail down at least a week? Like, I don't know, mid August. Too late, August, right? Like,
I think it's now at the beginning of the clams, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
can see
like-
there.
It's like hovering above the clams.
Like, you can imagine that if it were a little bit deviated, like say a little bit closer to the tower, to the booster quick disconnect, right? Then one of those clamps will just be outside, and therefore it will not go into place. Meanwhile, the ones on the other side will just not even go into the openings in the, because there's like an opening on the inside of the wall there at the bottom of the ship, and so those other ones will just not go there either. So it was just not aligned. Whereas if they are actually in sort of more or less the right place, then as they lower it down, the shape of those pins sort of helps.
Yeah, I think we are very, very close to them, like touching this down. It's about what, like, basically a row of TPS away. Maybe like 1.5. And not sure if we have that other view again. You can also see it a bit. Yeah, it's about a row, maybe like 1.5 rows. There it is. You can see the pins, like you can see the pins in the top light, right? Like these small gray areas there, right below the ships. That's where the pins connect.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
can
lot
see
of there's a lot
go
of
ahead.
TPS missing, by the way, Alex.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that if you look here at the ship, it's sort of like the center line, right? The middle of that, where there's like that opening on the launch mount. It's a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. It's 6 pins, so you can imagine they are like, I don't know, 2 at
Every 60
one. Yeah.
degrees, right?
Well, I was gonna say, like looking at an analog clock or watch or whatever, you've got like 2 p.m., 10 p.m., etc., etc. There you can see. There we go. Thank you for that close up. There you can see better those pins and sort of their weird shape. They are sort of gray and on top of the stand.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're missing.
once these are no longer visible, basically the ship is down. That is our indicator right now.
Yeah, there's a bunch of tiles missing. I remember we had a conversation about ship 36 because it had like a bunch of other. It still had more tiles than 37 at this point, to be fair. But it was still missing some tiles, and I remember having conversations about, because at the time, if you remember, and if people in chat remember, at the time they were targeting June 29th for the launch, and that was June 18th when they did they attempted to do the static fire with 6 engines, and we're all saying there's no way, 10 days, and they have so many tiles to install and things like that, right? Well, we will never figure out what will have happened.
Absolutely. D, I'm getting a question here about duration of static fire. What's your personal feeling? Like, how long do you think we'll see a static firing them on OLM?
I'd love to say I think we'll see a full duration static fire, but I think that's a little overly optimistic. I think we'll have a shortened static fire of 6 engines. That would be my guess, because of course they have the sort of deluge system there, but with this improvised system, it's not like the stand isn't exactly made for this.
Yes, I agree. It's I wish we would see full duration. I just don't see it coming. And we have some news here. If you followed our coverage earlier, you know that we also tried to cover the static fire test of Falcon 9 ahead of Crew 11, and the NASA Kennedy Space Center has just confirmed NASA and SpaceX are targeting July 29th for a static fire of Falcon 9 of Crew 11 mission to the space station. Monday's test auto-aborted at T-minus 57 seconds due to an error with the transporter erector cradle arm positioning indication. The arm functioning correctly, and teams are reviewing data. Falcon 9 and Dragon remain healthy on the pad ahead of Thursday, July 31st. Targeted launch pending static fire and launch readiness. So, as of right now, launch remains on Thursday, but we will see.
Yeah. You remember when we saw Falcon 9 has, towards the end of the countdown, a little bit over a minute ago, they have these sort of blow down vent, right, that they have on the Stromback to be able to purge out all of the. Starship has the same, by the way, on the OLM and on the tower. And so we saw that. we crossed the point where usually is the startup point, right? And we saw no static fire, and then I said, it looks like it went back right after that point. That's thrown back. So maybe, yeah, it all lines up with that.
Yeah, no, I know with Starship, this kind of vent down sequence is something we use to see if it's out of hold. Because we have identified what the whole vent down for everything is, right?
Yeah. They have
It's like-
obviously the ones for the OLM in the tower at, when they wrap up propellant load. But then they also have another one at T-minus 40 seconds, which sort of releases a bunch of pressure in one place, pressurizes other parts like the ignition sequence for the booster and whatnot. And so it's very, it's like the smoking gun, essentially.
Absolutely. Let me thank some more people here, starting with Brian McDonough, becoming a Red Team member. Thank you so much. Merry Old Elf gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Thank you for that support. Telstar86 with super chat saying, left a bit, right a bit. Okay, bring it down. I agree. Well, looks good to me. SpaceX, just put it down now. Like the Jelly with the $10 support saying, you're all on my go-to for live streams. Thank you for what you do. Love the channel. Go Ship 37. Thank you so much for these kind words. These mean a lot. Like, it actually, we try to provide you the best possible coverage we can. So if you say we are where you go to, that is the best we can wish for, honestly. And then we have Rocket Scientist, one with a $50 super chat. These huge super chats today. You're breaking me. And there's not even a message attached. It's just I don't even have something to say besides thank you. So thank you. And then also we have Todd using tips.nasaspaceflight.com with a $10 tip saying, given the speed of renovation at Massey's, do you all think this setup will be only used once? Ooh. I kind of want to go first and say no, because I don't think they want to reconfigure Massey's for Block 2 again. I think they will just build out Block 3, right?
I'm totally with you there.
Yeah,
right? Like, it wouldn't make sense for repairing Massey's D for just one flight.
Yeah, it seems kind of somewhat wasteful if they have this working solution now, seemingly, like, try to get what they can done with it and just focus on getting Massey's ready for Block 3 rather than doing 2 sets of reconfiguration. But I'm sure Alex also has more insight there.
yeah. I would also argue that speedy. It doesn't look speedy to me at the very least. They're just now doing all of the like trenching and whatnot on the ground to be able to put all the lines and everything at Massey's for that. So I don't know. There's a chance maybe that it is ready in the fall time. I don't know though that they will wait until that moment to do any testing of Ship 38 there. And also, as you mentioned, they probably are reconfiguring that for Block 3. It's very likely.
Still not down.
They adjusted it a little bit. I was looking at some of the other feeds as well and sort of doing A/B testing. And as I was saying before, they have the ability to adjust the position and angle of the ship, and they were doing exactly that. They moved it a little bit sort of to the right from this perspective.
You can
Or
still
rather,
see that
away.
that gap of light there that shows you very well this is not down yet. There's one of the clams. Yeah, they're adjusting here. They're not close to down here. Looks like they're going up again, even a bit. Yeah, there you can still see the clams. Once they really go down on these clams, then that's really when they will set this ship down. But it seems like they're taking their time. They don't want to destroy this OLM. That would be really bad. So it's a careful step by step movement. That's an interesting one. Throwing this to D first. Why is SpaceX taking the effort of making the new chopsticks shorter? What are the benefits?
Well, one of the benefits will be when you're rotating such a large object and they want to be able to catch ships and boosters, and so they're having to move them very quickly, and any mass you can take off of the very end of the chopstick is hugely beneficial to be able to move those things quicker. And we've seen before, even when they have which flight was it where it seemed like the landing was off from where we expected, even though it was really close. They have their precision down.
8?
Well, that does sound correct. Yeah. So flight 8, even though the chopsticks moved a bit to one side, that was perfectly fine. They were able to do a catch, but with the next iteration, they'll be able to potentially move those chopsticks quicker. And I'm sure there are lots of other benefits as well, Alex, if you have any more.
Yeah, it's mainly that it is easier to move less mass and also stop it, because not only you have to move it, but you also have to stop it in place to be able to, get the booster and everything. And so, yeah, it's a lot easier, and they don't really use the entirety of the length anyways. Every single booster that has landed on the arms has landed essentially on the half that is closer to the tower, and that is the length of the arms on the second tower. So yeah, every single booster has landed so far will have been able to land just as easy on the tower 2 chopsticks.
Let's go back to these close-up views because I'm curious if we are any closer. Oh,
It went down.
it went down. It is now. Yeah, it's not fully down yet, but it is closer.
Yep.
They're definitely at this point, like the pins are like entering the ship basically. It's just a matter of like now setting it down completely. But you can see like part of the pins are already like completely hidden by the ship. It's like the very tip of the pins, but it's not fully down yet.
As somebody said in chat, it's in that moment where it's like, don't put your hands there.
Yeah, don't put your hands there in this moment. It would be very, very bad to do that. But the gap is getting smaller. I think we are about to potentially see a full touchdown here. Yeah, they're committed for the full touchdown here at this point.
And no,
going down.
This doesn't count for the Flight 10 patch. I'm already seeing people asking you, and I'm already defending you straight away. No, it doesn't count. This lift is not the lift that we need.
Nope. I can tell you it's worth the wait for a Flight 10 patch. I think everybody here has seen the Flight 10 patch in this call, and all of them think it's... I will say it's my favorite patch we have done so far.
It's such a good one.
Shush. No leaks.
We're not leaking. We're just saying it's great. Oh, they're getting close to touchdown. Oh, I see Jack unmuting. Not sure if Jack wanted to say something.
The patch slaps.
There we go. That's the official message. And still hovering there. But they're taking their time. They really don't want to damage a clamp. But again, you have to imagine, like, this ship weighs, about 150 tons. So putting that on a wrong angle on these clamps will quickly result in them not being very. Let's say they're not really well anymore. So yeah, that's why they're so careful. Who's the staff member most likely to slip and leak details of the Flight 10 patch? I think it's either Chris or me. Realistically.
No surprise that those two are also the folks more or less in charge. More you than Chris, but yeah.
Involved in
Of
the
the
patch
merch.
design, yeah.
Exactly.
Adrian, what is your favorite detail on the Flight 10 patch?
So I like the color
The
and the
thing
shape.
on the thing,
Yeah,
and
the
then
colors and the
other.
shape jack and the patch details are also amazing.
The patchiness of it.
Yeah, the patchiness.
My favorite part's the quality.
There we go. And you just learned nothing, everybody. We told you nothing. Yes, thank you, Carson. That's the pin. That's one of the pins. You can see on the other side, you can see another pin.
Yep, just like a mirror. Right on the other side.
There's 6 of these that will hold down the ship. And they are very, very slowly approaching it. Stop asking for patch leaks. I will not tell you anything more. Stephen Antignap with becoming a pet dread member. I'm so sorry for pronouncing your name like that. I'm very, very sorry. Like the Jelly, becoming a Capcom member, that gives you access to our membership Discord, where we chat out with members, talk with everybody about spaceflight, and also sometimes, like in the last few days, we had a bit of a warehouse change, and we found some remaining patches from like old collections while we changed and transitioned to new warehouses, and we gave the Capcom and above members the first chance to purchase one of these old replacement units that we had left over. So these are the perks that you get as members. Just making sure that you all have that in mind. Biteford here with a super chat. Another support. Thank you so much, Biteford, saying this is seriously the most fun I have when you all chit chat. Love it. Yeah, I love these streams. That's always the fun. Just basically hanging out with friends, talking about rockets. That's usually the most fun you have. So yeah, it's still not down. Alex, why don't they put it down?
Because they're testing us. That's why.
Oh, they're testing our patience.
Yeah, it's I guess an NSF test. I don't know.
They're reversing the order. They're filming us while we are tested. That drone is scooting.
Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Kevin.
While we're waiting, why don't we tell them about the Flight 10 patch?
Oh, totally. Kidding. Yeah, totally. Thank you. Thanks for once again steering attention on that topic. I don't want to leak. It's still great, right, Kevin?
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing.
I can't even say anything because yeah.
Yeah, I'm so careful because I don't want to leak something by accident.
My favorite thing about the Flight 10 patch is how the...
Oh, it seems like we're having problems with the field comms. Guys, I don't know, Carson, I'm in a backseat direct. Can we go to a wide shot? Can we just look at this? It's like...
It's so ridiculous.
So weird. What is happening?
Looks so wrong.
It's so perfectly normal, okay? There's always a ship on this OLM. They usually have the adapter tube below it though for the OLM. Also called a booster.
Tube.
Yeah, I now refer to the booster as adapter tube. It's so perfect.
Sorry, I'm gonna be stupid, but it's still taller than a Falcon 9, right?
No.
It isn't?
The booster is about as tall as a Falcon 9, a bit taller.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What about
It still
including
looks
the
so
OLM?
funny.
It's like this is still taller than most rockets on this planet, though. Like a full Starship is still pretty tall, and also in terms of power, if you look at just like raw power, it beats a lot of rockets. Like
If only we had
Straptor
an overlay for
engines.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah, but
We
it's I
technically
think not
do.
ready, and we shouldn't really use it right now. I think is super heavy the OG staff stool. I want to quote Carson from the back channel.
To give you an idea of how tall, oh, there we go. It's a little bit lower now, right? To give an idea of like how far up you must go to get to the height of Falcon 9, for example. So with a booster installed on the launch mount, you have to go pretty much up until the ship quick disconnect arm there. In this perspective, it's a little bit, again, just like the crane before, remember? It seems like it's the same height, but it isn't. Maybe with one of the south cameras, we might see that better. But yeah, it is not at that height. Thank you, Carson. There we go. See? This is still a good 20 meters or so. Bit under 20, but yeah.
It is a thing. I see people wondering when their flight 9 patches will start shipping. If you ordered them together with the Shrug patch, they will ship in the 2nd or 3rd week of August together with your Shrug patch. There's another blog post on the NSF store where you can find more information on the shop.com. Yeah, that's a good question, DS, in the back channel, if it's taller with the OLM. Like, with the OLM, it's taller than Falcon 9, right, Alex? Because the OLM is like, what, 20 meters?
A bit under 20 meters, and then you've got the ship adapter thing, right? It might be about as tall. Like the tip of the ship will be essentially where the tip of the Falcon 9 fairing will be, more or less. Yeah, from the ground. Counting from the launch mount, though, you will not.
It's very close to down. Like, just barely not. Can we go to the clamp view again? There we go. Yeah, it's like, what? That's
Almost.
so close. Oh, I think it's just about to touch down. Yeah, it's the final centimeters. Interesting.
But yeah, somebody mentioned if you count the OLM, you also have to count the base of 39A, which, by the way, it's the same height more or less. It's like 18, 19 meters from the base of the flame trench up to the launch mount.
That's touchdown, right? Like, look at that. Like, they're just disappearing.
This is a little gap, but yeah, it's closing in now. It's sort of like, I'm guessing it is because now they have it perfectly aligned, so they're like, okay, now let's go the full way down.
Yeah, usually there's like a bit of a jump, like the final setting.
Yeah, once those clamps close, then they'll release the weight from the chopsticks, and they'll just. It will also be interesting how the chopsticks behave during a static fire test of the ship here.
Yeah, will they stay attached? Will they go up? Like, there's a lot of questions, right?
For a booster, they normally are up, although I think in a couple of occasions they were like not hugging but close to the booster, you know?
Yeah.
Almost like the booster is dirty and they don't want to touch it, but they're still like, around it. I don't know. I didn't know a better analogy to that.
Okay. Moving on. Let's see here. What else do I have for question? Some people still trying to bait patch information out of us. I see some very sneaky ways to ask that, but nope, not falling for it. Could Starship alone... oh, that's an interesting one. Could Starship alone reach the same altitude as New Shepard? I think very safely, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very safely, yes. I mean, that's not that much energy, honestly.
Even on 3 engines, I will even venture to say that they could probably do it. Because the problem of lighting all 6 engines, as I was mentioning before, one of the modifications to this ship transport stand are those clamps for the stiffener rings on the ends of the RVACs, right? They need those to be able to fire at sea level. Which means if you wanted to launch a ship from the ground, you kind of need a way to hold those Raptor vacuum nozzle extensions while on the ground. Once it goes up into space, it's okay, right? Or you just substitute the vacuum Raptors by sea level Raptors. I don't know, but yeah, you could really reach space with just this. Not orbit. I always will say that. If you go to orbit, you cannot come back.
Yep, but yeah, it would be like suborbital hops on a starship sounds super fun until you find out that you have to land.
Belly flop. Yeah, try that.
It's like,
What a wild
Full on.
roller coaster ride that would be.
yeah.
Indeed.
I see D already being ready to volunteer.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. We need to. I think I'd want to see a lot of flights before I would volunteer.
I'm in. First one. Let's go.
Jack,
Of
are
course
we
you would.
flying on the first one?
I'm down. Let's go. Send me.
Let's do it.
Send
Okay.
me.
Can I go
Witness me.
Kevin, join us.
too? We're
Kevin,
the
you
crew
might
of
have
3.
a feed for me if you check your feeds.
Is that it?
Nice.
That Carson just found?
Are you in the North Beach area, Jack?
Yeah, but my hands are kind of full.
Okay. So, Kevin, I don't think it would be a good idea to volunteer on this flight already. I don't think that's super safe.
Why not?
The whole landing thing. Like,
As
also
long as the door's open, can I like sneak out the door during landing and then parachute down?
the problem is you will have the same entry velocity as the ship, and usually plasma is very bad for humans.
Good point.
Maybe I'm nitpicky here. I don't want to be like spoiling your fun. I
Why
feel
are
like
we going up?
What? Why is this camera moving up in the air?
Oh, is it? Oh,
What's
it
happening?
took me way too long to understand what this camera is. Holy moly! It's a drone. That you were both playing just like stupid, right?
What?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I took way too long to understand it as a drone. I was like confused why the camera moved around.
I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a nice perspective. That's an aerial.
No, this is actually Jack. He's got a raptor strapped.
Long arms.
He's really tall.
Yeah,
You haven't
like
met
Jack
him in
is
person.
Jack is very tall in person.
Maybe
Got a
he has a
large
tripod
pole.
like D has.
This is definitely a little bit higher than my tripod can go.
Aw. By the way, we are outside the TFR, and it is flown by a legal drone pilot.
Yeah.
As always, we are very, very careful to make sure we stick to local and general
Oh, are we gonna get a view of Jack?
Ooh, nice beach.
There's a lot of vehicles driving on this beach. I think.
Hi, Jack.
There we go. Hi, Jack.
Oh, he's so
Waves.
little.
Yeah, that's so strange. It's also
Oh,
crazy.
hey,
how
you can see the
far
production
away
site.
he is. There we go. That's a ship on the OLM. I can't believe I'm saying this. That's a ship on the OLM. We just witnessed this.
It looks so funny.
It's so weird. It's like it's missing a half.
I'm kind of really excited to see ships static fire at the launch site again, though.
That static fire will look weird because the plume will expand outwards. If I'm not fully mistaken.
One improvement over Massey's is that at least we will be able to see the frost because it's gonna be closer.
True.
We're gonna have cameras a lot closer this time around. That's a positive thing.
Yeah, I saw somebody earlier in the chat asking if we will stream the static fire. Yes.
No, we were just thinking we
No.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, lift, okay, that's exciting. With static fire, I've seen that.
But as you can see, this view,
We will be live.
as you can see, this view is very zoomed in. We are nowhere close to that launch site.
The first ship static fire stand that Ship 26 will not visit, is Elsa saying in the back channel. So it's the best.
Oh, so it's the worst ship static fire stand. Got it.
It's the best ship static fire stand.
Well,
Because-
was it ever transported on this ship transport stand, though?
Wait, that's a good question.
We need Neat Pizza here. Because I bet he probably
I
knows.
don't think Neat Pizza is tracking which ships have been transported on which stand.
You never know.
I'm 80% confident.
We need to go back and pull all the footage. If anyone knows in chat, I want to know if Ship 26 was on this stand. I'm sure Kevin wants to know too.
What's
Because they
this?
have
It's QR2, right?
3, I think.
Ah.
I think this is 3, yeah.
I think it's three.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
transport
because-
stands.
Yeah,
Well,
because
go
it
ahead,
was
Adrian.
transported today. Today, the transport was on 1, right? And 2 is then right now for 38. So this is free.
No, 38 is on the thrust simulator stand.
Oh, 2.
We have
Where's
a
2?
card for the best ship. How about that?
But yeah, the transport stands, SQR1 is the only one that actually has the alignment things that they use. There's like different alignment stuff to be able to lift it off the stand with the chopsticks. That's the one that they use with this ship because they lift it off with the chopsticks, of course. And then, as you mentioned, then there's SQR3, which is the one on the OLM. So I don't know, maybe 26 was at some point transported on that one. I have no idea. It was never lifted with a chopstick, so it never needed one at the very least.
True. True and kind of crazy. I still wanna, if a SpaceX employee is listening and they wanna like slide into my XDMs, please tell me what SQR stands for.
Yeah, because
It's killing me.
there's no reasonable string of 3 words that fits the purpose of this thing, because there's like, okay, the S could be for ship, the R could be for ring wall, and we've seen this in the past with booster transport stands and this ship transport stand as well. On the closure name, they called it ring wall transport. So okay, S and R, more or less, we can guess that it's ship and ring wall. The Q, though, there's not a lot of things, because there's like, okay, it could be quick, but it's like, quick what, though? You know what I mean? Right? It's like, what is quick? And there's like qualification. Some people are also mentioning, and it's like, yeah, but it's not for qualification, because qualification is done on the thrust simulator stand and on the ship ship static fire stand. The transport stand is for transportation, right? So it's like, who knows what the Q means? I think there was another person at some point. I think it was Cody. He's a regular in SBL chat, who said like maybe quadrant, because these transport stands are made in like quarters essentially. So quadrant will be like fourth parts, 4 parts or something like that. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's It's quite an interesting abbreviation that has been very, very fun to see. And I want to quickly point out for all the D&D fans in chat that I was playing with my dice here and I just lost a D4 that is now somewhere lost on my floor. And for everybody who is playing D&D, you're aware of the horrors I will have to find that D4.
That's worse than a Lego piece.
Yeah, like the D4 is by far the most dangerous thing you can step on. Everybody will understand me here.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
If you don't understand, it's because it's a 4-sided die, which means it's a triangle.
Yeah, it's like literally a metal pyramid somewhere on my floor. Let me thank some more people. Starting with Nibbles, gifting 2 Red Team memberships. Thank you so much, Nibbles, for that generous support. And then we have XD9 gifting 10 Red Team memberships. That allows 10 new people to get access to our members' pictures and our members' content, and sometimes our early access to certain videos. So make sure to go to the community tab in the channel and check out the perks. We have JC Davis with a super chat saying, if stage 0 exists, that makes the booster a stage adapter. Huh. I mean,
So what's the
sure.
hot staging ring then?
I
Is
would
it the
also say
stage
a stage
adapter of
adapter. Yeah, it's another stage adapter.
the booster is just
Every-
2 stage adapters.
It's like the astronaut meme. It's like, wait, it's all stage adapters. Always has been. I mean, that beach is just beautiful. That's like a vacation commercial here.
And you know, I've slept out on that beach. It is so peaceful. It's a really cool place to hang out there.
How many bucks did bite you?
Depending on the time of year and exactly where you are. Like if you're in the grassy area, you're way more likely to get bit than on the beach itself, especially with some of the breeze there.
It's crazy how delineated it can be sometimes. Like, you'll be on the beach and completely fine, and it's like, you're like, oh, I don't even need bug spray, hooray! And then you take one step into the vegetation, and it's literally, you're in a swarm. Like, they're going for your eyes, they're going for your nostrils, they're trying to fly in your ears. It can be gnarly. It's pretty bad right now.
Isn't this also like the thing of like if it rains a few days later, it gets like exceptionally worse because
yeah.
of all the puddles?
That's partly why it's so bad right now, is because we've been getting intermittent afternoon rains, and it's just like every time all of the current batch breeds, and then it just repeats and repeats and repeats. But I'm hoping, on the plus side, if we get some more of these rains as we get further into summer and into autumn, it'll be crab season again, and we'll get another giant crab. We'll get another giant crab migration, because that's always fun. Speaking of wildlife.
Okay, that was an interesting mute. I wonder what happened. Biteford with another super chat saying, officially this puppy S37 is stacked in its own way. It is indeed stacked. I would call it stacked. Is it stacked? It's placed, I guess. Basically, SpaceX has wrong staging right now, right? Because they've connected stage 0 with stage 2. I'm just saying.
Check your staging. Check your staging.
Yep, absolutely. SpaceX didn't. Ninja Decimator with another $5 super chat saying, we got a ship short stack before GTA 6 or Jack and the Cult.
You have to make the
So
sound.
much.
You can't say Ninja Decimator and not make the sound.
Ninja Decimator. Pew, pew, pew. Better?
Thank you.
No problem. I dance. Shelby Z with a super chat saying, it must be said, dear friends, Jack will never kill up. Why are we back to kills? What happened here?
I said we're not sponsored by Red Bull, but that I would wear. We don't even really repeat it, but I said things. I said things on stream, or maybe it was in a members pre-show. but it happened, and so that has been revived, and it's my own fault.
I'm glad you at least on your own, like, guilty. Like, it wasn't somebody else brought it up again. It was you who summoned it. Which is kind of poetic.
Yeah, you know, I'm willing to admit it when it's my own fault.
I'm glad. ODST Moody with a super chat saying, we've been talking about this in SPL, but once they are building a lot of ships and need to decommission old ones, instead of scrapping them, they ought to turn them into houses. I would buy one. I'm not sure if I would live in a Starship house. They are kind of like unstable if they're not pressurized. Like, right?
I agree with you for the most part, but if there were a Ship 26 house.
I mean, presumably, like, when you get a... Of course, you say Ship 26 house. Of course.
Already fully scrapped, so...
Well, the cone was there on our last flyover, just the very tip of the cone. But anyway, let's not get distracted by Ship 26. If you buy a plane... If you buy a plane to live in, or like make it into a restaurant or whatever, there's things you have to do to make it not a plane and a restaurant or a house. Similarly, if you buy a shipping container, you have to like strip off the toxic marine paint, or at least you should. And, you know, like you have to do things to make it a habitable space instead of the shipping container. So, yeah, I mean, a Starship without pressurization might be a little bit flimsy or what have you, but presumably in this scenario, you'd be doing things to make it so that it was a habitable space, in which case that would be awesome. Sign me up.
Hang on. So we're talking about making Starship a habitable space. That sounds familiar. That's what SpaceX is trying to do. Already.
I have another question. Isn't steel horrible with all the sun in Texas?
Everything's horrible with all the sun in Texas.
Paint white and
Don't
have
accidentally
insulation
lean against the wall. That's for sure.
Yeah,
well,
like,
you could have insulation on the outside. That's
You could rig up those things that I forget what they're called because I'm not smart enough, but they convert heat into electricity. So like the walls of do that unlike in the walls, and then bam, free energy, baby. It's free real estate.
solar panels, curved solar panels around the nose cone and things like that.
at that point, you just have a giant solar paneled cylinder.
Well, but then you can use that energy to run an HVAC system or something like that.
True. True. What's a AC, by the way? I wish we had one. Anyway, Rankley with Super Chat saying, ship a quick retrofit. A Crafty Geek saying, is the deform made of magnetic metal? If so, fridge magnet on a spare shoeless makes a decent minesweeper. It is actually. That's a good call. I've still not found it again. It's gone. I will probably lose my 30 very soon with this somewhere here. But that's a good idea. I think I have a fridge magnet around. I will go fishing after this. You cannot step on a D4. It's very dangerous. Hey Jack, can your drone do a barrel roll? Great question from Ryan in the back channel.
No.
Close.
No.
That is the camera. No, yeah, it doesn't count.
Please don't sink your drone on air into the ocean because you want to be cool. It's not worth it.
Especially with how expensive it is.
It's not worth it. The Andy Engineer becoming a Red Team member. Thank you so much for that. Telstar86 again, saying, do we call this Stubby?
Yes.
No.
It's not a stack.
I would say that the OLM and the transport stand and the ship together make it a stack.
But you also like Ship 26, so...
It's not.
And you also like Ares.
I feel like, Adrian, you don't often go like full tribalism. So to have you just like immediately shut D down, I don't know why it's very satisfying, but it is.
There should be a poll in chat if this is a Stubby stack.
No, but you know why? Because
No.
the chat we have, for some reason, likes Stubby. I don't know why.
The chat is correct.
We don't need any
It's-
polls. It's okay.
It's crazy how Stubby has the majority in the chat. I don't know how that happened. Oh my god,
There is a poll.
Is this a Stubby stack? Yep, no way. The problem is I as the host were against it. So in the logic of the internet, people will now be like, haha, funny, let's not do what the host says, and yep, will win. I know the internet.
You're welcome, Adrian.
Thank you, Kevin. I saw that you created that. I'm very glad.
Stubby is winning by a large margin.
Yeah, I see that. That doesn't mean anything.
There's not an option for it's not a stack in the first place. It's like,
Yeah. It's not a stack. It's just are you calling the ships when they are in the mega bay just stacks?
They're stacking rings, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we
well,
would
that's
say
a
a
whole
ship
different
is
thing.
we would say a ship is fully stacked in the Mega Bay. We would totally say that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's stacked and fully stacked are very different connotations of what you're talking about.
I never
What
said
if
fully stacked.
You know, you're talking about 2 writers of Starbase update, so we can just simply decide that going forward we will not use that expression, and we'll just say that they're being fully welded. How about that,
Alex,
Jack?
it's so adorable that you think you have that level of control when I'm the last person that touches the script before it gets recorded. So in my rewrites, I would just change it. So that's very cute, though. It's cute that you think you could do that. That's adorable.
I think
I can
we need
then
to bring the
complain about
editors
it, though.
into this.
I feel like we should have a general discussion at NSF about the influence of the host in correcting scripts.
Oh,
Yes, I want to make make you say Mega Moon Rocket again.
Oh, yeah.
you see, here's the thing. I rewrite the script and at the end of the process. So it goes through my filter at the very end. And so if I don't want to say it, I'm just not going to say it.
Yeah, I sometimes try to smuggle in things like the first letter of like 10 words in a row, and then you change the sentence structure, and then it doesn't work anymore, but I was still happy.
That's wow.
I once tried that. It was like, "Hi, I'm Jack," and like 10 words in a row, but it was like, "Hi, I am AJ KC" after that, so it didn't work anymore.
Rip.
Yeah, that was very, very sad for me in general. Anyway, sorry. Let me thank Roseanne here with a super chat saying Stubby equals even more reuse opportunity. No.
So when we think of us, the stubby nozzle is
Did you just do...
because that's the closest to a barrel we've seen yet. Oh my gosh. The stubby nozzle on Falcon means they're using less material. They're able to be more efficient in their production and get things done faster. The stubby stack here means that they can get back to testing, they can do things faster, and they can get back to flying.
That is true. I can surrender to that logic. I agree with you. Also, we are like 2 minutes away from a cube zoom entering here if this trend continues. It's oh no, Max just appeared in the back channel.
Max,
We
no.
said Stubby 3 times into a mirror. I am at this point like I'm just lost for the taste of chat. Like Stubby won by a landslide.
I mean, it's just chat knows that you don't want them to to pick Stubby, so they're picking it. That's all it is. If you were as the host of this stream, like, oh man, Stubby Nozzle's the best, right? It's so efficient and it saves money and it's great and it trolls the haters and everything else, then chat would be going with the opposite thing. Chat is just contrarian by nature.
Unless they know that you want them to be contrarian, then they will agree with you.
Just set them up.
Yeah, we gotta like work on some reverse psychology.
Yeah. I think there's potential here to make this very funny. Let me go through some more support here. Crafty Geek saying in a super chat, SQR hypothesis ship quick release. Thanks, chat.
Hopefully it's not a ship quick release during this static fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please don't. E4 Tango saying, so what was Jack killed off? I'm not sure. What Kilty off? Kilty? Kilty as a pun of guilty. Oh, I butchered that. I am so sorry. Yeah.
Guilty of being cool.
There you go. Jack saved it. Telstar86 again. Boo Stubby, Boo S26. Thank you, Telstar. Great super chat. The best today, I would say. Drunar. Oh no, I can't read that, but I'm still thanking you. Thank you so much.
It doesn't say anything, right?
I didn't say anything. And then we also had James Scheid with a super chat saying, just want to hear Adrian pronounce my name correctly. I mean, there you go. I think I just did that. I love that chat is now discussing if they are contrarian and are arguing with themselves. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I saw a no, we're not contrarian, immediately followed by a yes, we are contrarian. So they can't even, they're contrarianing each other.
It's perfect. It's honestly perfect. I love it. This is going great. So, yeah. I think at this point it's very much down. We are progressing well here. Let's check in with the stand here again. Let's see if we can spot any more gaps or when it went down anymore. I think it's down. What's that weird thing on the right, by the way, Alex? You see that thing? Is that a camera filming up?
It might be. I'm not too sure, to be honest. It might also be like, what's it called, for measuring the wind and things like that. I don't remember.
Anemometer.
There you go. Anemometer. Yeah, they have those things on the ship transport stand that I said they use for lifting off from, like lifting off with the chopsticks, and they have like extra guides and extra sensors and whatnot. It's the only one that was sort of modified with all of that precisely because of the extra needs. And so this one that they just put there, they of course also included some of those modifications. I don't think it has the full kit though, but some of it at least it does.
There we go. I was just curious because that looks like that's beautiful. Is that drone just hovering over the water now? That would make me very anxious, I have to say. But yeah, might be just me. Let's see. The ocean is wonderful, beautiful. So let's see here. Again, if you have any more question, make sure to tag at NASASpaceflight in chat, and then we can answer them for you. Let me quickly check something here. While we get these wonderful views. The water looks so fast there, but I think that's also because the drone is moving into the opposite direction.
Oh no, we're moving.
Yeah, we're moving down the beach. Wonderful. One final thing I want to show you here a bit is I mentioned earlier that we all had a warehouse change, and with the warehouse change we found some old replacements units. And one thing we found in this is a very, 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 very small contingent of our old Starship full stack flushy. There you have it. If you want to have this very cursed stack today that you want to replicate, you can do that now, with this. We have some very, very limited units still left that were the old replacement units that we basically had for yeah, if something goes wrong on shipping and everything. And now with warehouse changes, we can release these. So there will be a link in chat. I'm actually posting that in chat. Give me a second. There. And there you go. That's the link to that. And there you can get the this old plushie. And you can also get the Flight 5 patch, where we still have some units of, while we are clearing out here some of the very old inventory. Again, this was first available to Capcom and above members on Discord. That's why the other patches are still there, but they are at this point sold out. And this is what we sometimes do for Capcom and above members. Yeah, again, if you have still maybe like Flight 5 not in your collection, you can now get that and put it into your collection. Thank you so much for showing that, Carson. And there we have it. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, we might see a static fire in less than 48 hours from now. This is gonna be such a crazy thing to see, like, and to shoot as well. Like, there will be some. I mean, I want to have a cool static shot of that. Hopefully for the metal prints or anything. That would be cool.
Definitely gonna be very unique. That's for sure.
I mean, D, how does it feel like you're also as a photographer, like there's like a single opportunity or like two opportunities to ever capture this.
Oh, don't make me feel. I feel bad that I'm not there. I really want to be there and capturing this in slow motion. I like. There are important things to be here and capture, but this, I am definitely sad to be missing out.
There's a crew launch.
I'm so sorry, by the way. I didn't want to poke fun at you that you're not there.
This is the 11th, like, rotational crew mission for NASA.
Okay, but
the first firing of a ship like this.
Have you considered, though, that you might be missing this very important mission called Starlink 10-29?
Yeah, historic.
Historic.
And then there was silence.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like, yeah, I'm really sad I'm not there right now. There's so much stuff going on in the world, and I'd love to be at all of it, but it's not practical.
Yep. I fully understand that. But it's like kind of crazy, right? We will see this 2 times. Before Ship 37 and then before Ship 38. But Ryan in the back channel actually has a very good point. There are countless Starship tests. There is only one Starlink 1029. So that is a very good point.
You just wait until we are on like the 100th tanker flight for a Mars window or something like that. It's not your ordinary tanker flight.
Yeah, I still think these I mean, the crazy thing is the tanker flights will probably be the new Starlink, right? Because there will be a lot of tanker flights.
I mean, yeah, for every launch to Mars, I guess you could think of, several of these tankers being launched. So they're probably going to be even more common than Starlink or any cargo missions at all.
That's true. That's And probably for like their customer missions and everything, there's a good chance we'll see a lot of tanker. So that's going to be an interesting design coming up at some point.
But getting re-entry and all that, they're going to be so much more special than Starlink still, I think.
I mean, yes. Can you imagine, like, the crazy thing is there might be stuff like shooting re-entry and, like, plasma trails and everything.
Oh, it's going to be a sight to behold. I cannot wait for it.
Slow-mo of plasma re-entry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so many opportunities. I want to shoot all of it. Like...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's gonna be a ton of cool stuff that will be captured during the Starship era. Let's word it like that. That's gonna be pretty cool.
All right.
And,
I have a question I'd love to ask if you would let me, if we have time.
You go for it.
You just said the Starship era. So, like, we're obviously entering that point now. When would you estimate something else would take over and it would no longer be the Starship era? Also, there is a bug on that camera.
A bug report.
So. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to look at Falcon 9 right now. When do we think did the Falcon 9 era start? Like 2015? 2016, somewhere in there? We really said this is the Falcon 9 era. So it's probably gonna last until 2030? Where Falcon 9 is still dominant. So then maybe 15 years of Starship dominance, so around 2045. That's a very cheap way of trying to tackle this problem. But yeah. Back channel, I see you. There was never an Ariane 6 era, there was never a Vega C era.
I mean, at least this is not... I was going to say, at least this is not Russian spaceflight, because there it's always been the Soyuz era.
Yeah, it always was and ever will be a Soyuz era.
It's gonna be the, I don't know, 2090 or something like that, and Soyuz will still be flying.
I mean, I would say if you're really trying to define an era is as the defining rocket of its current time. I really think right now that is Falcon. I think it will be until 2030, and it seems like it's always roughly 15 years or so. Going back somewhere in there. I really think 2045. There you go.
All right.
Okay, Ryan. There's so much. The back channel is rapidly degrading in quality as well. I also see a person called John apparently suggesting there was an Ares era.
We're still in it. The Ares era never ends.
I'm calling out people here.
There was
Ares
never such a
era.
thing as Ares era.
Ares era basically went from ignition to stage separation, and that's it.
I'll take it. It had an era.
That's the end of your launch was the end of an era. How does that feel?
What a bright moment in spaceflight.
It's funny because that end of that era was, in fact, before the end of the space shuttle program. So there was no Ares era because it was during the shuttle era.
Or was the Ares era, did it interrupt
the
shuttle era?
No.
No, it definitely didn't interrupt the shuttle era.
You're comparing something that barely grazed space with something that put a space station in orbit and a space telescope, and multiple space telescopes actually. But yeah, I mean, it's not comparable.
I feel like this battle is being lost by Ares, as every other battle as well.
Just like in real life, yeah.
Or was Ares just the start of the Artemis era?
No. No. I mean, no. I'm just saying no. Why are that picture of flying corn dogs being posted in the back channel?
The best rocket.
I don't know. You have to
it
ask
is-
Carson.
It is a flying corn dog. So yeah, I'm actually looking at the wait. I'm starting to outro, right? I think it's time. I will
should.
actually, yeah, I actually will start that and start to thank people here, starting with D. D, thanks for being around today.
Thank you for having me. The back channel just has me laughing with all these right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This was a wonderful, wonderful stream. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. And also, thank you, Alex, for being here and sharing, as always, your wonderful Starship wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, late night lift for me. It's already well past midnight, but I still gotta do all the things. But you'll see it soon.
Absolutely. We had on commentary Kevin Michael Reed jumping in here as a spontaneous commentator. And then, of course...
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Adrian, as a commentator.
We should do that more. Kevin, you want to do a
No, we really
in the
shouldn't.
middle?
No.
As a commentator, though, you're a commentator.
Yeah, we should. No, we should have
really
him on more.
Kevin should host like
Kevin
a
commentary
late
is
night...
good commentary.
It really is.
Kevin should host like a late night Starlink.
No.
That would be fun. Also, you just heard the voice of Jack Beyer in the field, drone operator, commentator, general amazing human being. Thank you so much for being around, Jack.
You got it. Thanks to all the membies.
As always, thank you to all the members. In general, thanks for all the support today. I said it earlier, and I will say it again. Without you, we couldn't do all of this. My name is Adrian Bile. I was your host for today, and we are now sending you... I said Carson before. Thank you so much for producing today, Carson. And we are now sending you to Starbase Update, our newest episode of Starbase Update, about to premiere, which will catch you up to speed with all the things that are happening here. We're going much further into analysis as well than we have been here. So if you want to catch that, it's about to start, and we will throw you to there from this stream. Thank you so much for watching.
And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, Atlantis.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Fighting down to SPD off. Bring in SPD off. Off. It's orange! 145! Oh my god! Oh my god! Decollage. What is it? Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
This methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?